wow, this is so much fun.
What the hell are you doing?
Going around in circles like a time loop?
A time what?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
Hey guys, we'd like to thank all 2,109 of you for coming on this journey with us. You are the reason why we do what we do, and we have a very special announcement, so please watch the entire video.
The Skull Knight is always there, always waiting, watching, waiting for that special moment. Kinda like a wife and kid asking their dad for cash on payday. But why is he always in the right place at the right time? His cryptic way of speaking and his curious timing could not naturally be so perfect.
His timing is so precise that he saves people mere seconds before their horrible demise. And this is quite strange because we've been wondering, why is he at events that matter so much with such precision? How is it possible? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we propose our theory of the time loop. We believe that the Skull Knight is trapped in a time or temporal loop. And a time loop is basically a plot device in which periods of time are repeated or re-experienced by the characters. And for the person that is in the time loop, there's often some hope of breaking out of the cycle of repetition.
So why would we think that the Skull Knight is trapped in a time loop? Well, we have several pieces of evidence to prove our theory. Skull Knight appears before Guts in chapter 53 of the Berserk manga for the first time. When he does this, the first line Skull Knight says to Guts is, "The gears have been set in motion."
And these lines hold great weight, right? They're a sign of things to come.
Skull Knight went on to tell Guts it begins from this moment until the eclipse occurs 1 year from now. How would he even know this? You and your friends are walking blindly to your doom. It is as if he has already seen what has happened before.
Yeah, and the Skull Knight goes on to tell Guts, who is the struggler, that he was born from a corpse and struggles every day with death, and that he will be the most anxious to escape it. So it's clear that he has insight into the past and the future.
Yes, this holds true for what he said to Guts, but what about his actions?
Yeah.
The Skull Knight saved Rickard from the Count and Rosine. He appeared moments before Rickard was killed by these two and left them, both apostles, alive despite them being evil. We believe he knew they would eventually meet their demise against Guts and allow them to live to seal their future fates.
Yeah.
He showed up to the eclipse right before Guts and Casca are killed and saved them from being eaten alive, and had Rickard, heal their wounds. Now seriously, right seconds before they were dead, he got in the eclipse, faced off against Void, and saved Guts and Casca.
Yeah.
That's no coincidence. He appears after Guts killed Rosine to devour the behelit that was left in the ashes of their battle.
It's kind of creepy, right?
Yes, it's very creepy. He knew it was there, And okay, some people might argue that Skull Knight could sense the behelits. But if that's the case, why has he not taken the behelit from Guts?
Well, there must be a reason for that. But hang on, guys. There's more.
The Skull Knight tells Guts that he can either get his revenge or save Casca, but he cannot do both.
And this is pretty significant because Guts wasn't fully aware of the options that he had unless the Skull Knight had mentioned it. Now, the Demon Child gave him a dream warning him of Casca being in danger, but Skull Knight basically spelled it out for him. Here are two options and you can only pick one. How would he be fully aware that Guts wouldn't be able to execute on both things?
Very, very creepy and suspicious.
Well, I think it's more suspicious than anything.
Yeah. The Skull Knight saves the prostitute before she fell to her death. She goes on to live in the city created by Griffith and aided Rickard and Erica from escaping the city later.
Yeah, so it's kind of like he knew she would have a purpose in the future that was essential to whatever outcome that he wants. So, he's kind of helping things along.
Right. The Skull Knight also prepares the Berserk armor for Guts to wear, and then goes on to allow Guts to be weakened enough by Slan to use this armor.
And we say allows because once again, like many other times, he's intercepted and, prevented negative or traumatic things from happening to Guts and his party.
Yes, but he was actually there this time and he waited until, in my opinion, right, it's not stated in the manga, but he did wait until after Guts was severely injured by Slan to intervene into the battle.
Yeah, and people in the comments have been saying that Flora is a good witch, right? So this is why they're getting the impression that Skull Knight might be a good guy. Now, it was going to be life or death for Guts, right? So either way, whether the Berserker armor was good or bad for him, he had to put it on because he was going to die.
And also, in the scene where Skull Knight and Guts met for the first time, right before Skull Knight appeared before Guts, Guts said that he sensed an evil aura similar to Zod. So, with that being said, not trying to say Skull Knight is evil or good, but they're saying that there's something more to him than meets the eye. He tells Guts that what he may want may not be what Casca wants. And that is implying that when her mind is freed, that she may want an alternative path. But again, how would he know of this?
Yeah.
And he even aided Femto in the killing and the transformation of Ganeshka into the World Tree.
Well, we say aided because, and we're going to clarify each point that we make. We say aided because that was all he did, basically. The one sword strike, and then he was done.
Right.
It wasn't even a face-off. There wasn't a battle. It's as if that was his whole purpose at that point in time.
Exactly. It's like he showed up there just to give him the power to make Ganeshka into the World Tree.
Yeah.
A new God Hand member is created every 216 years. And until the destined time comes, the Skull Knight lies in wait for something. This can be the birth of a true villain, the true god of evil that walks both the real world and the astral plane, or he could be waiting for something else more sinister.
You might be thinking that's insane, but hear us out. Why has the Skull Knight not killed a single member of the God Hand all this time? He was around for over 1,000 years and has so much hate for the God Hand members, especially Void, but he chooses not to act. So let's say that he was in a state of hibernation for most of the time due to him dying in the Berserker armor, because we've already confirmed that he was the original wearer of the Berserker armor.
Yes.
So he was in a state of hibernation and he's transformed into the form that we see today.
Yes. And even if the Skull Knight was hibernating for at least a couple hundred years to get his new form, we know that he should have been up for at least 300 years because Zod existed for that time and fought against him several times in the past. The most logical conclusion is to think that the Skull Knight was doing his research to truly defeat the God Hand members once and for all.
Yeah, and he probably needed to find a loophole somehow in the cycle of causality, which would be time itself. He needed time.
And this will make sense because he knows of all these precise timings and all these places to be at.
Yeah, down to the second. You know what I mean? Down to the second. He knows exactly where to be. It would explain why he doesn't end everything and restore things to how they were before, or why he didn't prevent the death of the Band of the Hawk, because there is an outcome that he is looking for. There's an outcome that he is ushering along. So what about things that could have changed with the choices that the Skull Knight made this time around? For example, the Demon Child. The Skull Knight did not have him on his radar. He didn't foresee the Demon Child being alive and seemed unaware of its future roles. And this kind of shows that the choices that he made may have brought new changes in this timeline. Yay, you made it to the end of the video! Thank you so much for watching our vid. And we really want to thank you guys for all of your support. We'll be giving away one of the Band of the Hawk games to one of you lucky guys. All you need to do is be a subscriber, leave a comment below, and like this video. This is our way of giving back and saying thank you for stopping by and for supporting us. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking out our video. If you haven't already liked it, hit the like button right now. And don't forget to check out the description box. We've got it completely filled out with information and videos that you do not want to miss. Leave your comments and questions down below. Subscribe. Over and out.